What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back with our week two NFL predictions. As always, I got Ethan here joining me to break down this week's biggest games. But before we can do that, we got to talk about last week. And not too bad of a start for us, going 4-2 on our locks. The only ones I missed on were Pittsburgh, -2.5 at the Jets, as of course they only win by two. And then Tennessee losing by 8. So just missed out there on a big payday.
Yeah, both of us going 4-2. The only ones I missed out on, Jamar Chase, anytime touchdown, and CMC. CMC was very involved in the offense, didn't get in the end zone though. But we're not going to give up. We're going to keep pushing forward here.
Yeah, and then last week you were also the big winner here by one game, going 12-4 in a very good week one for both of us, going 11-5 as, I just had one more pick that was wrong compared to you, but the best games of the week, I mean, that Baltimore Buffalo game obviously might be the best game of the year when it's all said and done.
Yep,
But
game of the
just
year.
a lot of good football this week besides that Colts Dolphins game.
Oh yeah, a lot to. It can't go. We got to be careful not to overreact too much for week one. But I'll tell you that Monday Night Football game as well. That game was pretty crazy. The Bears looked really good, I thought, in the first half, and then fourth quarter hit, and JJ McCarthy turned into Kobe and got a win. So there's a lot of good games this week for sure. But looking forward to picking. Hopefully, we get more right this week.
hmm
Um, hopefully,
Yeah,
so.
let's get into week two. Week two locks of the week. I got a lot of spreads here. We're going all spreads. We're going Bears on the road getting 6.5, Dallas at home 5.5, San Francisco 3 on the road against New Orleans. Brock Purdy's more than likely to miss that one, so I'm still rolling with the Niners there. New England 1.5 at Miami, Denver covering 2.5 at Indy, and then I'm going Tampa on the road to get the points at 2.5.
All right, and as for me, I'm taking the Bills -6.5 at New York Jets. I just think a touchdown at the very least. I think that should cover. Chicago, I think they're going to cover the 6.5 point spread. Detroit really did not look good week one, and I was a big fan. Still am a fan of Detroit, but they looked really rough. And the Bears, I still have hope for them. So I'm going to take them. And then I'm going right back with Jamar Chase. I think he's going to score this week. I'm going with ETN, another touchdown he scored last week. And then for my, I got one over under. I got Denver, Indianapolis under 42.5 points. I think that'll be a low scoring game. And then we got the Falcons on Monday Night Football covering the 3.5 point spread at Minnesota.
And we'll talk about our first game of the week, and that's Thursday night when you guys are seeing this video. It's going to be Commanders at Packers, and obviously I'm going with my Packers here at home. There's no surprise there. Micah Parsons will be even more familiar with this defensive scheme. Hopefully be playing around 35 to 40% of the snaps here, or snap count there. A little more than he did week one against the Lions. And you can already tell his impact is huge on the field. But don't sell that Commanders team short. They have a very good offense, and Dan Quinn obviously knows how to run a good defense and scheme well. So I think this might be one of the better Thursday night football games we see this year.
Yeah, definitely got to stay up and watch this one. I'm going to take the Packers as well. I think they have a lot of momentum right now, and they have a great young core of players, and they're building something special. But I would take the Commanders to cover here. I think it'll be a 3 point loss or less for Washington. I think this will be a really tight one, just like you. But I think with Micah Parsons, and I think I trust their run game a little bit more. That's why I'm rolling with them.
Yeah, then we'll move to the non-important games, as we like to call them, on Sunday. You can see here clear sweep across the board for all four of these games. But probably the best one to watch is going to be that Giants-Cowboys game because, the Cowboys have to get a win. If the Giants don't win, they might be turning to Jackson Dart week three. But I think there's a lot of good matchups here. Three of these four are divisional matchups.
Yeah, these games aren't really the ones you're gonna try to tune into first, but there's still a couple. I still think these are some interesting games. At least the top two and like you said, the Cowboys Giants. The We got the Browns and the Ravens rivalry game. I think it's gonna be a lot closer than people think, and obviously we're all taking these sweeps here. So and then the Bengals Jags. I think that'll be a close one as well. So a lot of interesting new faces and a lot of interesting stuff going on there too.
Yeah, and then also heading into the 4 o'clock games, Clean sweep here, pretty much except that Rams-Titans game. I'm going with the Titans here at home. If Cam Ward can play just as good, if not better, as he did last week against the best defense in the league, it gives me hope here heading into this game. His first home start might be in attendance for this one. Who knows? But I think this Cam Ward kid is legit. Is if his receivers can catch the ball, they might upset the Rams here in Tennessee. But I don't really see too much change here anywhere else. Like I said, though, that Niners game could be a big question mark if Brock Purdy does indeed not play. We already know Kittle is out for 4 games at least, heading on the IR, so this Niners team is already banged up.
Yeah. Well, I'm taking the Rams just because I think their defense is playing well. They played well last week. I think they're going to play well again against a rookie quarterback. And then, yeah, I'm taking the Cardinals and the Broncos as well. I don't know how I mean, obviously, Daniel Jones had a great week one performance, and I don't want to sell any short of that, but I think the Broncos are going to win it. And, uh, that Panthers game, I mean, they had a lot of momentum going into this year, uh, carrying from last year with Bryce Young, but they are really looking to avoid going 0-2. This is a big game for them as well.
Yeah, the move into our important games, as we like to call them. The Bears, Lions, you and me are pretty much 50-50. I think this is probably one of the bigger coin flips of the week and possibly of the year at this point in the season. We got the Bears, Lions, and I'm going with the Bears here on the road to upset the Lions and send them into a panic. I think Ben Johnson gets revenge on his former team. Um, right now, I trust the Bears more than I trust the Lions because the Lions couldn't do anything last week, where the Bears, they did everything right for 3 quarters and then just collapsed. So maybe this week will be a little different and the Bears can play a complete game all 4 quarters.
I'm going with the Lions here. They are at home. Like you said, it was right, but they are at home, so I think that'll give them the edge here. Uh, the Bears had a lot of troubles offensively getting to the huddle and with a lot of pre-snap stuff. So I don't think it's going to be easy for them. I think this is going to be a really close game, but I'm going to take the Lions in a nail biter.
And a game that I don't think was going to be on our big list here. But the Jets, obviously, last week showed out even in a loss. But I still am going with the Bills here on the road. Josh Allen puts up 41 at home. This offense cannot be stopped. And the Jets team that gave up 34 to the Steelers last week. Um,
Yeah.
I think I think the Bills can score a little more than that. They might hit 50 in this one. So I do like the over in this one if the Bills can indeed go crazy. And I think they are going to. Expect a big day here from Josh Allen yet again.
Yeah, there's not much else to say. You basically covered all of it. The Jets just did not play. Their offense played great, but their defense looked bad. And the Bills, I mean, they're not going to be able to stop the Bills or Josh Allen. So got to take the Bills.
And then we got your Steelers here at home against the Seahawks. And I think this is going to be a great matchup. But if the Steelers offense can put up a 70% form of what they did in week one, I think they walk away with a victory here. The defense has to step up a little more. They are at home, and we know that this defense plays well at home. Then you got the Seahawks traveling all the way across the country with Sam Darnold, a new quarterback in there, some new pieces around him. I just think there's too much newness there for the Seahawks heading into Pittsburgh. Historically, this defense, like I said, has been really good at home. And I just think that defense is going to get after Sam Darnold.
Yeah, these matchups are always a lot of fun between the Seahawks and the Steelers. This one is at Acrisure Stadium, though, and I think that gives the Steelers a huge advantage. The Seahawks are they could have won that last week's game. They really could have. They should have. But here they are 0-1, and we're both picking them to go 0-2. I think they're a lot better of a team than they than this record will show, but tough matchups. And I think they're going to continue to get better though and have a real shot in the NFC West this year.
Yeah, they're moving to 425. We got the Eagles and Chiefs, and I can't bet against Chiefs. Just can't do it at home. They return from Brazil for a home game to face the defending Super Bowl champions who you just got blown out to in the Super Bowl. And I think there's going to be a chip on their shoulder here. So give me the Chiefs here in prime time.
Yeah, this is gonna be a lot of fun. But and the Eagles didn't look too great last week. They couldn't stop. Well, their defense couldn't stop the Cowboys at all, and I don't think that's gonna. I don't think that. I think that's just gonna continue, especially with a lot of like you said, all the circumstances. They got a chip on their shoulder. I got to take the Chiefs.
And then Sunday night football, Falcons, Vikings. I'm thinking the schedule makers were thinking Kirk Cousins is still on this team because that's why it's in prime time over a few of these other games. But nonetheless, it is going to be a good matchup. I think Kevin O'Connell, JJ McCarthy, and those weapons are going to be too tough to stop here for this Falcons defense because it's pretty much the same team you faced last week against the Bucks at home. But now you got to go on the road in a hostile environment because we know the skull clap and everything that comes with Minnesota. It is almost like a college atmosphere and it's very loud. And that favors the Vikings here in this one. So give me the Vikings here at home.
Yeah, I think this is going to be another really close one. Like I said in my locks, but yeah, I got to go with the Vikings as well. And the Falcons just seem to play close games and lose them, so I don't think it's going to change. Especially with the Vikings. I mean, it seems like every year they just play solid football. It doesn't matter who's at quarterback. They just have a loaded roster and really good coaching staff. So
And then Monday Night Football, one of two games. You got the Bucks going on the road to face the Texans, and I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road. And I think this Bucks offense is just going to be too tough to stop here for the Texans. Now, Stingley, yeah, he may be on Evans or Ibuka, but whichever one he's not on, the other one is going to, I think, play some really good football as Baker's going to find him. As long as Baker is healthy for this whole team, this whole year, it's gonna be tough to pick against the Bucks because this offense is gonna keep rolling, even with Bucky Irving, and they still get Chris Godwin back here. Hopefully, week 5 when he comes off of, he wasn't on the IR, but they're shooting for week 5 return here for Chris Godwin, and when he returns, good luck trying to stop this wide receiver trio.
yeah, I'm with you. I do think the Texans defense is one of the best defenses in the league, especially their corners, their secondary. So if they can they can lock I think this game will be close. They could lock down this receiving core a little bit, but the way that CJ Stroud's been getting blocked, like their O line has been terrible, and CJ Stroud's just running for his life, not making good throws. Um, that doesn't account to very much, especially against a good team like Tampa Bay. So give me Tampa Bay.
Then the last game of the week, which I think could be possibly the best game of the week if you can somehow stay up if you are on the East Coast. It's going to be the Chargers and Raiders. And Chargers did the unthinkable last week in Brazil, beating Mahomes and the Chiefs. And the Raiders kind of the same thing, traveling to Foxborough and beating those Patriots. And I think it's a huge matchup. Whoever wins this, more than likely is going to be tied atop the AFC West or leading it with the Broncos. And I'm going with the Chargers here. I think Jim Harbaugh in year 2 has really started to get what we wanted to get out of Justin Herbert, at least out of week 1. It may be a little bit of an overreaction, but normally they try to run the ball on the Chiefs and keep it away from Mahomes. Well, if you're not afraid to throw it and you put up those numbers, I would not be shocked if this Chargers offense turns into more of a balanced offense than a run first offense. And I like those chances here because I like Herbert over Geno Smith.
Yeah, it's just they got Herbert's better than Geno. No disrespect to Geno, he can sling it, but just I think the defense, the pressure will get to Geno this week because the Chargers can play some good defense as well, and it doesn't work well when Geno has to get outside the pocket. So I'm gonna take the Chargers. It's gonna be a close game though. It is in Vegas, so it's gonna be loud in there as well, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. But I don't know if I'll be able to stay up for it. It's a little bit late.
Yeah, and talking about something a little bit late here is our survivor picks. We forgot to introduce those to you guys last week, but we both went 1-0. Ethan taking the Bengals, I took the Cardinals, and this week I'm going with the Broncos on the road at Indy. That's kind of one of the more confident picks I can take this week. I know the Broncos are a team that, you kind of want to save till later in the year, but I want to keep surviving, so I'm just going to take the Broncos now.
I'm gonna take the Cowboys against the Giants. There's a couple other ones like the Bills. Can't think of any other ones right now, but those were my two. Those are my top two. But I'm gonna lean towards the Cowboys since they are at home. I can't see them losing to Russell Wilson or Jackson Dart this week. So
Yeah, and that's going to be it for our week 2 predictions. Come back next week to see how we did and obviously if we're picking your favorite team or not to win. But until next time, the Bench Buddies are out.